Hi everybody, Cynthia here. I'm back to share a quick tutorial on how I made this upcycled toilet paper roll little desk organizer. And like I told you in a previous video, I cannot take credit for this idea. I saw it on Pinterest, so I gave it a try, and a bunch of you asked me to do a tutorial to show you how I put mine together so you can do one as well. But this is completely Pinterest inspired. I did not come up with this idea. I just thought it was so super sweet, and you know, send out some happy mail, or you know, send out some swaps, whatever you choose to use yours for. Just to gift to somebody would be really nice. That's entirely up to you what you want to do. So anyway, let's get started. I'm going to cut some twine for my double bow. I totally forgot to do that. And you're going to need 2 pieces of that. Mine measures approximately 7 inches. And we'll need that for the bow for the tag. So let's put together our TP roll first. Now, if you don't want to use a recycled toilet paper roll, completely understandable. You can use a paper towel roll. Just make sure you cut, when you cut your paper towel roll, this measures 4 and, let me put my glasses on, 4 1/8 inch. So what I did was I painted the inside of my roll with some white paint. I went over it with Mod Podge. Just so the inside would be finished all the way through. Okay. Then you're going to need a piece of paper to wrap around your TP roll. Now, I did white on the edges here and on the front as well, because my paper is just a little bit smaller than the actual TP roll, and so it shows like a little white edge. Okay. The paper that I use measures 5 3/4 inches long by 4 inches high. And I'm going to use some liquid glue, but I'm going to use, you know, I'm not going to use a whole lot. If you use too much or make it too thick too wet, it might warp the paper, especially if it's thinner paper. You could use double-sided tape. It's all personal preference, what you like to work with. I like the liquid glue because if I mess up, I can pull it right back up. And basically all I'm doing is wrapping my paper completely around the roll and sealing it shut. And then I kind of roll it with my fingers and use a bone folder just to kind of smooth it all over. And I thought I'd make one extremely similar to this one because my mom liked it. Maybe she'll want it for her desk. And then when she's crafting, she can look at it and think of me. But anyway, so for the bottom here, we have, I told you I got this from my paper collection, and it says Hello Spring. And then the top piece here is a piece of ribbon. And the ribbon I used for that measures 6 inches. So I'm going to put a little bit of hot glue on the edge here. And I'm going to start in the back where my seal is for the paper. And then I'm just going to wrap it around the top. And put a little bit of hot glue. And then lay down my ribbon. A little bit of hot glue. And lay down my ribbon. And then I think I'm going to put hot glue on the ribbon itself. And just fold it over. Okay, so it kind of meets the seal in the back. And then I'm going to do the same thing for the front. But I'm going to try and eyeball this. This is the back where my seal is, so I'm just going to pinch it. I want the spring to kind of be in the front, my sentiment. kind of like that. So I'm going to hold on to it, add a little bit of hot glue, and wrap that around the bottom. The hello part is going to be covered with my image and my flowers, so I'm just going to kind of wrap that around there. Okay, so that part's completed. Let's set this aside for now. And then the bottom piece here, what I used was 2 scallop circles, similar to the one I saw on Pinterest. If you don't have scallop circles, you can use anything as your base. You can use any kind of dies you have in your stash, whether it be heart dies, square, whatever shape you want. Or you can cut these out on your Cricut, Silhouette, whatever kind of machine you have. You can just use plain circles. You could just cut out a square by hand, you know, or a circle by hand. Just take something round and trace it, and then, you know, you have yourself a circle. But anyway, my largest scallop circle from the classic scallop circles from Spellbinders, I used the largest one and the size down from that. But also I have these heart Spellbinder ones, and I thought, how cute would that be if you used a heart instead of a circle and had like the heart this way in the front. I think that'd be kind of cute too. But anyway, it's just an idea I was throwing out there. So my largest circle, which is my white piece here, this one measures approximately 4 1/4. So if you're cutting this on a machine, you might want to size it accordingly. And then the next piece down that goes on top here, I used the next die down, size down from that. And that size measures 3 3/4 inches. For those of you that need to cut it on your machine. And then I used my honeycomb embossing folder. You guys can use whatever pattern you like if you want. You don't even have to use one. And I did that to my yellow piece only. So what I'm going to do is just take a little bit of liquid glue and glue this piece on. And this is what creates your base. I'm going to try and line it up best I can. Kind of eyeball that. And I don't want to press down too hard because I'll smush my embossing that I just did. Okay, simple. There's the base, and what we're going to do, I'm going to add liquid glue to this and add it to my center of my circles. I don't use hot glue because in case some of it smushes out from the sides, I really didn't want the hot glue to be visible. So I use liquid glue, and my liquid glue dries clear. So whatever glue you use, make sure it dries clear so when you attach it, okay, I'm going to press down and hold it there for a minute. But anyway, when you attach it, it'll dry clear and then nobody will see your glue. Because there's nothing I can't stand more than when I do a project and I get glue schmutz all over the place and then you can see it and it just doesn't look nice at all. Okay. Okay. So I kind of put mine, if you see, a little bit more towards the back of the circle, left a little bit more room up front. And I'm going to put something heavy on the top here to kind of keep it held down. Let's see what I could find. Maybe my my A plate here from my Cuttlebug, just to kind of weigh that down so it dries pretty nice. And I'm going to set this aside for right now and let that dry. And what we're going to do is work on our tag. Okay. So what you're going to need, I made let me get these pens out of the way. I made a 3-layer tag. White piece, which is the base, then a yellow piece, and then my patterned paper. Okay, so your white piece for your tag is going to measure 5.5 by 3 inches. And now I've already cut my tag shape, and then I realized some of you guys may not know how to make a tag, so I'm going to show you really quick on my cutter how to line it up and get that done. Let me move my flowers. I did put some mulberry flowers together already to kind of save time when I decorate it. Let me move this little guy here. Okay. I think I might need to move this stuff too. Get this out of the way. All right, there we go. Okay, so here's my cutter. And you're going to take, when you go to make your tag, you're going to take on the right side, the bottom right hand corner, and you're going to line it up on the 2-inch mark right here. Okay, this is 2 inches. I'm lined up on the black line, that corner. Put your finger there, and then the corner here on the top right, you're going to aim it over your cut line to the opposite side where it has a 1/2 inch. Close your cutter and cut that off. Okay, so that piece is cut off. You're going to flip it around and you're going to do the same thing. The bottom right goes on the 2-inch line on this side. The top right, you're going to aim over past your cut line here. You're going to go past, go to the 1/2 inch mark, line it up to that black line there. So 2-inch mark here, 1/2 inch mark over your cut line right here. Okay, close your cutter and trim. And that will give you an even cut line on both sides each time. So your white tag is going to measure 5.5 by 3. Your yellow tag, which is the next one that goes on here, it's going to leave an 1/8 inch of a white border all the way around. The yellow piece measures 5 3/8 by 2 7/8. And then your pattern paper, which you're going to line up on top of your yellow tag, or whatever colors you guys want to use. That'll give you an 1/8 of an inch yellow border. Again, the pattern paper measures 5 1/4 by 2 3/4 inches. Okay, and then I just took my liquid glue and put those together. I love making tags. I don't know why, I just think they're so cute. All kinds of different shapes and sizes. Just love them. Okay, let me get my pattern piece here. Okay. There we go. On my bone folder over that. Okay, so we have our basic tag. What I'm going to do is punch a hole in the center, in the middle of the top. I'm just going to use my crocodile here. Line it up, punch a hole. Okay, so we have a hole there. Before you add your ribbon, if you want to write anything on the back of your tag, now's the time to do it because it's just nice and flat and easier to write. Completely up to you. But the ribbon that I use to make the tag, this is 5 inches, and I'm just gonna use my tweezers here to push it through. It's kind of a thicker ribbon. Okay, gonna line those pieces up in the center there. Pull this through again. And then what I'm going to do is I took 2 pieces of twine, and like I said, these are 7 inches long. I'm just going to kind of make a loop and tie a bow with the 2 pieces, and that way it kind of gives me a double bow right here on the bottom. of my tag. My fingers are actually, oh, maybe I spoke too soon. Nope, they're actually cooperating today. How about that? Some days they just do not want to work. But they're with me today. Thank you, Lord. Okay. Sorry, I'm kind of jibber jabbering there. Okay, and then once I have my twine tied on here, I'm just going to trim my ribbon, and I just kind of trim it at an angle. And you just want to eyeball it to see if you like the size that it's at. And then I think I'll trim up a little bit of the twine as well. Okay, so our tag is complete. This should be pretty dry. Yep. And I have my image. I've already colored her in to save time for the camera. So what I'm going to do is I put dimensional tape on the back. So I'm going to peel that off. And I'm going to line her up, I think. Where did I put my other one at? Okay. Oh, she's up here. I was going to say, I'm losing it, guys. Okay. I have her little feet right over the S in spring. I'm going to do the same thing here and press it on my roll. And then to put the tag on the back, just going to line that up. You want the TP roll in the center of your tag. This I did use hot glue for, and I just kind of ran it down the center, and then I eyeballed it and popped that on. You don't want to go too high because you don't want to see your glue. I'm just going to hold it there a second. Make sure it adheres well. Okay, and now the fun part is decorating it. I did cut out a lot of these ahead of time. These are just those leaves that you see right here. I cut out a ton of them ahead of time, and I put them in a bag, and that way I have them to use. This I used a flower branch leaves cutting die, and I purchased this on Amazon quite a while ago. There's no link, no certain store. I just went on, looked for some branch dies, and found something that I liked. So basically it cuts it out, looks like this, and I pulled this side off and this side off, and then I used this stem to glue on the side of the tag here. So I'm just going to run some liquid glue down the stem and glue some leaves here. Okay, and I'm going to use my rag to kind of press it on because I did put a little too much glue there and I want it to wipe that up. Alright, so that's on. Let me glue this leaf down so it doesn't get in the way. And then I already stamped my sentiment out and I layered it. If you can see in there, there's two layers. There's a yellow layer, then there's dimensional tape, then there's another layer of this orange and white gingham paper, and there's a dimensional tape. So there's 3 layers all together. And I'm going to glue that where my sentiment is going to be in the middle of the tag area there. So I'm just going to add a little bit of liquid glue to half of it. And kind of line it up that way where this comes off the tag, but in the center of the ribbon is where it starts. Press that on really well. Okay, and then I just layered some flowers in. So put some hot glue here and just kind of layer that flower. in there. Maybe glue that one piece down there. Okay. And then the next flower I used is this one. You guys can, you know, decorate these however you'd like. I'm just kind of sharing what I did with mine. And then this one in the front. And go down here a little bit by her foot. Hold that in. And then I took some greens and I just kind of cut them off and layered them in here. This I'm going to use liquid glue for. And press that down. And then I do have another flower that I want to put in this corner here. And I'm using hot glue for that. I mean, you guys can decorate these however you want. I just think they're so much fun. I made one and now I'm kind of addicted to making them. These would be great for people, you know, to send for their birthdays. Use on your own desk because I think that's super cute. And I did fill mine. I did put a bunch of glue sticks in mine. You know, you could put a bunch of pens in them. Whatever you choose to do. Just set it on your desk. It's really, really cute. And then I just took another mulberry flower and I kind of scrunched it up. And I'm going to put a little bit of hot glue on that. And this one I just kind of tucked in here as a filler. You see that little thing there? Just to kind of fill that hole. And then I did pop another leaf off. And I'm just layering them in where I think they need a little bit of green. I think I need some back here. And as you can see, I use buttons in the center of my flowers. And then I also got 3 buttons of the same colors. I have like a cream color, orange, and a green. And I'm going to add those to my base. This I like to use liquid glue for because for some reason when I use hot glue I make a mess and you can always see the hot glue. This way the glue dries nice and clear. So I'm just going to kind of pop those on there and let them dry. And then I will probably... Let's see, that looks really cute there. And I'll probably add, I have Studio G glitter glue. I have clear glitter glue. So I'm going to add a little bit to her daisy flower. That's on her stamp. And I'm going to add some to her barrettes here. And then for the greens, I pretty much just... I don't know if you can see. Hopefully the camera will pick it up. And I'll hold it here for a second. You could see it has these nice little cut lines on the leaves already. So what I did was I took a lighter color green glitter glue and I just tried to, it didn't always work, follow some of the cut line and just put a little bit of the green glitter on it just to kind of accent and give it a sparkle, because if you all know me, you know I love a sparkle. And I like using glitter glue versus glitter because it doesn't rub off. It's just so easy to use, a lot less mess. I have used loose glitter before, but I prefer the glitter glue. Okay, and that is pretty much it, guys. That's how I put it together. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you guys have fun making yours. Take care, stay safe, stay healthy, and happy crafting.